The lives of these characters are intended to be a canvas on which God paints the glorious operation of His forgiving, rescuing, transforming, empowering, and delivering grace. We find ourselves in Exodus 4, 10 through 17, and my title for this little study is Someone Else. But Moses said to the Lord, "O my Lord, I am not eloquent either in the past or since you have spoken to your servant, but I am slow of speech and of tongue." Then the Lord said to him, "Who has made man's mouth? Who makes him mute or deaf or seen or blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now therefore go, and I will be with your mouth and teach you what you shall speak." But he said, "O Lord, please send someone else." Then the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses, and he said, "Is there not Aaron, your brother, the Levite? I know that he can speak well. Behold, he is coming out to meet you, and when he sees you, he will be glad in his heart." Have you ever noticed that not every character in the Bible gets the same amount of pages? Sometimes the story slows down and we get an extensive biography of one of the characters of Scripture, sometimes from birth to death. You get this with the story of Moses. We get to witness his entire life. The story slows down with Abraham. The story slows down with Joseph, with David, with Peter, and with Paul. Now, why is this true? Well, our tendency, because there's so much focus on these characters, is to make heroes of them. But that's not the purpose of these biographies. The lives of these characters, now hear what I'm about to say, are intended to be a canvas on which God paints the glorious operation of His forgiving, rescuing, transforming, empowering, and delivering grace. I don't know if you've noticed this as you've talked with other believers, but God works to bring us all to the same place, to produce in us the same fruit, but every person's story of grace is unique and different. So God gives us the slowed down biographies of different people so we can see the different ways His amazing grace operates to transform and empower people that He has set His love on. In the passage I just read, we see Moses still living in fear and doubt. After all of the reassurance, after all the promises of God's presence and power, as God telling Moses, "I've remembered my covenant, I am the great I am," he's still living in fear and doubt. And because he's living in fear and doubt, he's resisting God's call. And so we get to witness up close and personal how God deals with someone who in fear resists what God has told him to do. I'm sure you can't relate to that. God does two things, and they're worth noticing. First is a vertical reminder. He continues again to patiently remind Moses of His presence and His power. That Moses would root his attitude and willingness not in himself, but in who God is. God doesn't call us because we're able, but because He's infinitely able, has infinite power, and is willing to unleash that power for our help. So, vertical reminder. The second thing is horizontal help, because His ability to communicate is a thing that is producing fear, in Moses, God gives him the gift of his brother Aaron, that he would call Aaron, and Aaron would be willing to be the spokesman for Moses. You have to be blown away by the patience and love which God handles Moses. It's just amazing. And he offers that same patience and love to us in our moments of fear.